Attention passionate Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Seahawks' upcoming season, one of the biggest stories that's been bubbling under the surface lately is the speculation surrounding Fred Warner, the star linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I know it sounds wild, but hear me out. There's a real buzz growing around the league, and it's centered on the idea that Warner might be on the move. And if that happens, it could totally shake up the NFC West, and more importantly, how the Seahawks approach their 2024 campaign. Now, let's start with the context. The 49ers, as we all know, are dealing with some cap pressure after their recent quarterback struggles and the extension of Brock Purdy. They've been eyeing their offseason rebuild, and one of the options on the table is potentially trading Warner. Think about it, Warner, a versatile linebacker out of BYU, has been a staple of that San Francisco defense for years. He's a game changer, especially when it comes to coverage and tackling, and he's a leader on the field. He's the kind of player that can really solidify a defense and make life miserable for opposing offenses. The rumors suggest that the 49ers might be willing to part ways with Warner in exchange for draft picks and a promising linebacker prospect, mainly because they're prioritizing cap space and roster flexibility. It's a classic reset move, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that they might see trading Warner as a way to free up some of that cap and rebuild for the future. It's a bold move, especially considering Warner's performance. The guy is an all-pro candidate in 2025, with stats like 50 tackles, 1 interception in just 6 games, and a PFF grade of 92.5. His coverage efficiency and tackling rate are elite, and he's proven to be a game wrecker against both the run and pass. If Warner does make his way to Seattle, it could be a game changer for our defense. The Seahawks are already building a solid core with players like Darrell Taylor and the emerging talents on our linebacker squad. But Warner would bring that extra level of versatility and leadership, much like what we saw with K.J. Wright and Bobby Wagner back in the day. He's a tackling machine, averaging around 1.5 tackles per game over his career, and he's got the instincts to cover tight ends and running backs effectively. His ability to read plays and make tackles in space would be a huge boost, especially considering our current linebacker depth, which has been solid but could definitely benefit from a player of Warner's caliber. Let's talk about his injury history for a second, just to keep things real. Warner had a rib injury in Week 3 that kept him out for 8 games, but he came back strong in Week 1 with 10 tackles. That resilience shows his toughness, and if he joins us, he'd be a leader in the locker room and a key piece of our defense. Considering his career stats, nearly 950 tackles, 10 sacks, 10 interceptions, and 7 forced fumbles, it's clear this guy is a playmaker. And he's still in his prime with plenty of football left in him. Now, why would the 49ers trade Warner? Well, they're currently sitting at 6'8", with a cap space of around $19 million, and they've been allowing about 25 points per game. They're probably aiming for a bit of a reset, especially with their recent struggles and the cap crunch. Trading Warner for picks and a linebacker prospect might be their way of retooling on the fly. It's not just about cap space, it's about strategic rebuilding. If they do decide to move on, it could open the door for the Seahawks to step in and grab a player who would immediately upgrade our defense. And that's where the impact on us as Seahawks fans gets really exciting. Our defense has been solid, but adding a player like Warner would elevate the entire unit. Our linebacker core, currently with a PFF grade of around 76.4, would see a significant boost in tackling efficiency, with an 18% increase in tackles and a 12% reduction in rushing yards allowed. Warner's versatility in coverage and his ability to make plays in the middle of the field would complement our existing players perfectly. With Tariq Woolen and our secondary doing their thing, Warner's presence would make us a nightmare for offenses trying to run or pass against us. And let's not forget the long-term implications. If Warner joins the Seahawks, it could set the stage for a real defensive revolution. Think about the history of great Seahawks defenses, from the Legion of Boom to the 2023 squad, and how a player like Warner fits that mold. He'd be a leader, a playmaker, and a symbol of this new era of Seahawks football. Plus, with the playoffs approaching and the Super Bowl odds shifting from +1,200 to +750, Warner could be that X factor that pushes us over the edge. His ability to shut down key players like George Kittle and to disrupt rival offenses in the playoffs could be exactly what we need to make a deep run. Looking ahead, the impact of such a trade would ripple through the NFC West. The 49ers, already strong contenders, would face a significant blow to their defense, especially if Warner leaves. The Bears, who have been rebuilding, might see their division rivals weaken, allowing the Seahawks to capitalize on the shifting power dynamics. And for us, this isn't just about one player. It's about sending a message that the Seahawks are serious about competing at the highest level. Adding Warner would not only boost our defense, but also send a statement to the rest of the league that we're here to contend, to win, and to dominate. Of course, all these moves hinge on the negotiations, the cap space, and the willingness of the 49ers to part ways. But the idea of Warner in our blue and green uniforms is enough to get any Seahawks fan fired up. Imagine him lining up in the middle, calling plays, making tackles, and leading our defense like a true Hawk. His presence could rejuvenate our unit just as the season gets into the home stretch, and it could be the boost we need to make a serious push for the Super Bowl. So, as we keep an eye on the league buzz, remember that the Seahawks are always in the mix. We're building something special, and the potential addition of Fred Warner could be the kind of move that turns our defense into one of the league's most feared. Whether it happens or not, it's exciting to think about how this kind of player could transform our team and help us chase that next championship. The NFC West is shaping up to be even more competitive, and with Warner potentially on board, our path to glory looks even brighter. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Warner makes sense for us? Would he be the missing piece to finally get us back to the Super Bowl? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. We're all in this together, and the future looks incredibly exciting for our team. Let's keep the passion alive, and let's see where this wild rumor takes us. Because if there's one thing we know, the Seahawks never back down from a challenge.